I have a refined palate. Like I can handle the flavor. Johnny out there is going to taste the chili lime and he's going to go, I was blown away by the chili lime. Johnny, no, you weren't.
Johnny,
Come
you
on.
weren't, Johnny.
No, you
Johnny.
weren't. It's chili lime, sure, but you weren't blown away by it.
Yeah, look around, Johnny.
I was blown away by the ranch. Johnny, cool your jets. No, you weren't.
Johnny,
it's a
pump your brakes.
Flavor.
Folks, you're welcome to Mike and Tom Eat Snacks. With my good friend Michael Ian Black.
And my good friend Tom Kevin.
We have kept it simple. Back in the day, when everybody was like, come do this podcast, come do that podcast, and podcasts didn't even exist. Mm-mm. And they were all like, you two guys are going to be the preeminent podcast hosts of something. Come do a podcast. And they were like, come do the podcast about the Middle East. And we were tempted. And they were like, come do the podcast about NASA machinery. And we were tempted. And they were like, come do the podcast on lions. And we were really tempted. But
super tempted on that one.
We thought maybe we need to keep the division of duty simple. Maybe we need to be doing the same damn thing every time out, or it's going to be hell, right? Mm-hmm. And so to all you burgeoning entrepreneurs out there, the division of duty is important. You don't want to be derelict in something obvious, like you should be drinking water instead of you don't want that. And so what Mike and Tom and what we did was we were like, we are going to eat snacks and we're both going to eat the snacks. And then we came out with, I understand that if you're a burgeoning entrepreneur, as I say, you're not going to come up with such a stellar and intricate system as Michael and I did, which is the PER system. That's high level stuff, obviously.
And
you know, that's go ahead.
If you're thinking about instituting the PER system, pick a snack, eat a snack, rate a snack, guess who you'll be hearing from? Toot Sweet, our legal counsel.
Yeah, and maybe Doug.
That's true. Oh, Doug for sure.
And if you hear from Doug, forget it. Run for the hills.
The thing is, you're not going to hear from Doug. You never hear from Doug.
You'll hear from the lawyers. Yeah, you'll hear from the
lawyers. You'll hear from Doug. No, you don't hear from Doug.
And you may have people knocking at your door. Yeah, you may have people knocking at your door, and it's just look. Do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor, Johnny. Leave the PER system to the professionals. All right. First off, Johnny, you're going to get hurt if you try and operate on the PER system by your solo, right? And nobody wants that. And the emergency rooms are filled with people going like, I'm going to do that because they listen to this podcast. And next thing you know, it's professional grade material. It's what we came up with when we were working on dereliction of duty and lack thereof. And we came up with it's a perfect system. You don't just get there, pal. Okay, Johnny, you don't just, this is years and years. You got to decide what podcast, you got to decide the system, you got to decide what you're going to do. And then you reach something, the elite level of the PER system, which is what we have.
I just want to, just a quick word to Johnny, as long as we're here.
Johnny, go ahead.
Johnny, you're a good guy. Okay, nobody's going to take that away from you. You're a good guy. You got a good attitude. You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You want to get into the game, and you're thinking to yourself, "Well, I'll just do the PER system." Johnny, here's what's going to happen.
No, Johnny,
you're gonna. And you might think, "Oh, you're just Mike's worried about the competition." No, buddy, you're not. You're not the first guy who said, I'm gonna do the PER system and I'm gonna knock these guys off their perch. Okay, Johnny, you're not the first guy to do that.
Johnny, you're not even the 10th guy, Johnny.
10? Buddy, add a couple of zeros, okay?
Yeah, Johnny.
So what I'm saying
0,
is
0, 10, 0, 0. Yeah.
You're gonna wake up one day, you're gonna find yourself in the ICU saying, how did I get here?
Yeah, and Johnny.
Some kid in a lab coat is going to come up to you and he's going to lean real close and he's going to say, let me guess, PER system?
And he's going to be a super nerd, the kind you would just want to punch in the schnoz. And yet he's making $200,000, this kid. He's making $200K and he's mocking you in the ICU, Johnny. Is that what you want? You want this
He's a first-year
snot-nosed,
resident,
freckled,
Johnny.
he walking in skinny as, leaning in, going like, let me guess, per system? Is that what you want, Johnny?
Johnny, let me tell you something. A year ago, this kid in the lab coat was getting hammered at his frat house. And even
Johnny,
he knows that you don't mess with the per system.
Yeah.
This is medical. This is first day medical school. This is before they show you the skeleton and they say how many bones in the skeleton and you answer 206. This is first day stuff.
Yeah. This is as simple as it gets, Johnny.
Oh man.
Simple as it gets.
You want to eat a snack, eat a snack. You know, you want to talk about it, talk about it. But you don't want to start picking, eating, and rating. Work up to it. Okay.
Johnny, you're not even going to get past the P, okay? That's going to land you in the ICU with this snot-nosed orderly resident coming in just going like, let me guess. You couldn't guess past P. Is that what you want?
Johnny, is
that really what you want? Come on, kid.
He's breaking my heart. You know? Breaking my heart.
He does what everyone else does. He thinks it's easy. Why? Because we make it look easy. It's not easy. It's not. The PER system is, you don't want to tangle with the PER system until you've been around the block a few times.
And even then, I'd maybe get yourself one of them neck collars.
Smart. Like the dogs wear?
Yep. You want to get a plastic cone.
Yeah, plastic cone. Walk around your hood with a plastic cone, Johnny. Yeah. That's wise. Yeah, because sometimes a lot of the thing is like, if the thing was within reach, you got a loaded firearm at your house, right? And it's cocked, right?
Yeah.
And and there's extra shells lying around. Sometimes that's not gonna end well. Like if you're just, say you walk in your house, and you've been working all day, and you got 12 loaded firearms, around the kitchen, right in the foyer where you walk in, where you take off your shoes, one sort of lying on the pillow, right? And they're all loaded and cocked. That's the PER system. That, in a nutshell, is the PER system. It's what Michael and I deal with, and we're like gun safety first, right? It's very special to us, very important to us. We don't mess around. The PER system, folks, the PER system is going to land you in the ICU, and it's not going to be pretty. If you actually make it to the ICU.
Well, you're lucky if you end up in the ICU.
You're so fortunate. You're like coming in with bells and balloons. Survive the PER system. But let me tell you, the good first responders and the people on the front lines in our hospitals and our emergency rooms, they're sick of it, right? And you're dragging down the brand a little bit. Like Michael and I have been doing this for a long time, and I know people are listening to this, don't want to hear this. We don't need it. I know Halloween is like, who are you? I'm Michael from Mike and Tommy Slacks. It's like, we like that. We don't mind it. We open our door, there's us, trick or treat, right? So every year we just went through that. Here's us again. We just went through that. It's flattering. We understand it. But at the same time, we don't want people getting hurt. All right. Well, we want people to snack. Go ahead.
When they show up at the door and they're dressed like us, you think, oh, that's cute, that's fun, etc. And by the way, here's an extra fun size Snickers for you, kid. Because you took the. But think about it like this: if Jason from Friday the 13th shows up at your door, you're not scared. You're thinking, oh, that's adorable, that's fun, like that's the scary guy from the movie. Happy Halloween. Okay. You're not thinking that Jason is going to go out and go to Crystal Lake Camp and murder a bunch of teenagers.
You're not thinking it.
Because you understand that there's a wide gap between the fantasy of being Jason and being Jason. It's the difference between, let's say you wanted to dress up one year as Barry Bonds, because kids love dressing up as Barry Bonds for Halloween.
Yeah, we just went through Halloween, and
how many Barry Bonds did you get?
I would say half our Barry Bonds, and you get maybe 20% Spider-Man And then you get your princesses, you get your Barbies, you get your
you get your Mike and Toms.
You get your Mike and Toms. You get a lot of Mike and Toms. But Barry Bonds is like
the Barry Bonds that's the classic. That's the go-to.
That's the classic. Yeah.
So kid shows up at your door. He's another Barry Bonds. You're not going to throw a fastball at 90 miles an hour at the kid's head because he's not Barry Bonds.
He's not really Barry Bonds, friends. That's Michael's point. He's not really Barry Bonds.
You want to work up to the PER system, work up to the PER system. But this isn't like I read a couple of books and I'm ready to go. This is years of work. Get yourself a sensei. Okay, that's my advice.
Here's what you need to do. Go into the great snack aisle of life and imagine selecting. Imagine. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Are you crazy?
Are you nuts?
Johnny, what are you thinking? You don't do it.
You're not listening.
And you think about it.
Think about it. You don't do it. Imagine picking a snack. That's all you got to do. All right. You can sit on your couch and do this from home, folks. Right. Michael and I are like sensei trained. We're working so hard at this. You sit there and you imagine picking out, maybe a bag of crisps. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it.
Called visualization, Johnny.
Right. Yes.
I'm going to visualize something for you right now because I'm excited because I can't lead Johnny all the way down the path because next thing you know, he is going to be a competitor, right?
Right. Exactly.
So I'm gonna leave him with that. Johnny, you want to go? You want to visualize? You do that. Tom and I have already done it. We've moved past it. We've actually picked the snack for this week's episode. Couldn't be more excited.
We're super excited.
This new snack that we got today, well, I gave away the game a little bit because it is a new snack. This is something that must have come out in the last couple of years, right?
I believe so. I believe it's. I would say even. Well, maybe it's that recent. I was going to say even maybe more recent, but what do I know? I don't know.
We're not. We can get the research team to find out exactly when these came out. We're not snack historians, although obviously we know the history of snacks, but we're not trained historians. We're trained snackologists.
And I hear you. I hear. I can audio you out. You're reaching for the snack. I hear it.
And Tommy, I'm going to say something, and I'm not sure if you're going to agree with this or not. But even touching the bag has a thickness to it. There's something about this bag that I feel like is slightly different than most other crisp bags, and I'm trying to figure out what it's like. It's like a little. I think it's a slightly higher quality of plastic. Maybe I'm just.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is, Michael. It's a health bag.
A health bag,
right? Because the snack that we're eating now is not generally garnered towards those who look for a healthy snack. Exactly. But now this snack has added an element that anybody who's looking for that kind of thing will have to admit, well, this is probably good for me in some ways. Right. And so the packaging reflects that, I believe. I think it's a bit of a health bag.
Hold off any longer. It's hard to hold off the name of this snack.
Okay. What have you picked? This is what we've picked today, folks. This is the piece.
Tortilla style protein snack.
What?
Tortilla style Now, you may have seen these things out there in the world at gas stations or supermarkets or wherever. And the twist on these things is they're chips, but they're loaded with protein. Like this little bag right here has 20 grams of protein. 20 grams. That's as much as you're going to get from like a chicken breast or something, right, Ty?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get from, it's like eating a bag of chicken breasts.
It's like eating a bag of chicken breasts.
And they were like, are people going to opt more for a bag of chicken breasts or bag of chips? Bag of chips. Everybody loves chips. Yeah. And a lot of people feel, oh, I can't. You can.
That's the thing.
I can't. They're like, I can't. A lot of people are like that. They're like, I can't. They can't. But then I go like, you can't. And you're like, whoa, wait, you can't. What about protein? And they're like, I can't. What?
Right.
They're like, I can't.
Anna,
Did you
look
say
at me. These are filled
protein?
with protein, Anna.
Anna, this is like having a nice, solid chicken breast with a dusting of cilantro and a little chili pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want that? That's so healthy. That's your lunch right there. It's
Well,
tortilla style. Good.
I should point out to Anna
Don't
and
even call
everybody
them
else.
chips, Magic. Don't even call
I'm
them
not calling
chips.
chips, but
They call them
come in different
protein
flavors.
chips.
These are protein chips. We've got the chili lime flavor today for you.
Yeah.
And
I also have the nacho cheese, just so you folks are like, what else they got? They got the nacho cheese, which I love. But I'm not going to give the game away because we got to do this we got to play it straight.
I'm going to play it straight.
Magic,
we're going to see chili lime. Hey, I just want to point out.
You the chili lime? That's what you have?
I got chili lime, but I want to point out that in addition to the protein chips being a fairly new entry into the market, I feel like chili lime as a flavor is also fairly new and very popular. Like the Takis, I feel like do the chili lime really well. Yeah. I feel like they may be set the pace on the chili lime, the Takis, and then everybody else started doing it, and it's fabulous. I like a chili lime.
And I can't go back to the. I can't go. I don't like going backwards, Mike. I like to go forward.
You have to.
Which was a great move until I realized at the end of the line is death. And I was like, I just like to go forward. They're like, so you like to hurdle towards death? I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? And I thought
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I only thought that applied to a certain, a certain number of people were
less handsome individual.
Eligible, right? For that, a different category of folks, so to speak.
That's right.
So I was like, I like to go forward. I don't like to look back. And they're like, well, looking back is like childhood and fun and vacations and no stress. And looking forward is you're hurtling towards death. I'm like, what? I don't think so. And I don't think so. I try to drive very safely. They're like, no. You understand, with the Earth's own rotation, that's a 24-hour loop, and that brings you closer to running out the line. I'm like, you maybe, maybe you, but I have no intention. And I know you think of death every day. Your waking thought is well, death. We're very different that way, which I think complements our psychology. Sure. You're like, all right, done. Right. Yeah. That's sort of, I don't put words in your mouth, but I feel like that's largely your philosophy, right?
Here's my philosophy. And thank you for not putting words in my mouth. Here's my philosophy. All right, done. That is my philosophy.
Yeah. See, I had it wrong, but I love the fact that you're looking forward to the day when no more responsibilities, where do I live? Should I live in Georgia? Yeah, you're done with that, right? What snack to pick even? We take it so seriously and we play it so straight. I know how much time and energy alone you spend on the pee and the purr system. And I think when you kick the bucket, you don't have to worry about that one iota.
But I'm hopeful that we get through today's episode before that, because I'm just excited. Oh, I just noticed something, Tommy.
Tell me.
Because I got another bag here too. I got the ranch flavor. You got the nacho cheese. We're just going to do the chili lime. But I noticed right out of the gate here, the ranch flavor has 19 grams of protein as opposed to the 20 grams. And it's got an additional net carb, 4 grams of net carbs versus 3 grams for the chili lime. The net carb, I feel like I can understand because there's probably some sort of creamy thing in there in the ranch flavor. But why would it have less protein?
Well, are you ready to get your mind blown?
Yeah.
You ready to get?
I think so.
Okay, if you're ready to get your mind blown, I have the Quest tortilla style protein chips, nacho cheese flavor.
Yeah.
18 grams.
What?
Of protein. 18 grams of protein.
18. And see, that doesn't make sense to me either, because you
18 grams of protein. 18.
Why would it vary so much? 2 grams of protein.
Why would it be 20, 19, and 18?
I don't like them.
And the fact is, it's stamped, is excitedly stamped on the bag. So somebody over there at Quest is going 20, great. And someone else is going 19 for this one. And someone else is going nacho cheese, 18. I wonder what part of the manufacturing, because it has to be something like that, where it's well, this absorbs less, or if we have this much dominant cheese flavor, we can only stick in this much protein powder. Someone did some intricate tasting, I felt, and like, because I can't imagine the protein is adding to the flavor, right? And so at some point you're like, how much protein can we add and still be very flavorful? So maybe it's something to do with that, or maybe it's sheer laziness.
It might be that.
I don't think it's laziness. I don't think, because you don't get 19 stamp. Someone's got to make a 19 stamp. Someone's got to make a graphic.
These aren't lazy people. These are people who said, "Hey, I want a chip that is good for me. That's going to build muscle just by me consuming it." That is not a lazy man's idea, or lazy woman, because
well said.
Eating and rating snacks is what we do. It's not what we're about.
No, we're about respect for women. Everybody knows that.
Here's something else that I just want to point out on the packaging. You'll see if you're a viewer, and I don't know if you are or not, but there's some chips, there's a lime, and there's some peppers, and then underneath it says "for illustration only."
Interesting.
What the hell else am I going to do? What else would it be other than an illustration? Are they implying, hey, don't try to wear this on your body because it's not going to work? It's just an illustration.
The first thing I think is there's no lime, because we went through that with Funyuns. No, there's lime juice powder. There's lime juice so I guess powder. You could get away with that.
That's fine.
What about the chili? There's paprika.
Yeah. Where are they getting the spice from? That's a great question.
Well, the paprika.
Onion powder, paprika.
And then it says paprika yeast
spice. Generic
so
spice.
maybe there's no chili, and they're like, this is illustration purposes because we want you to understand what chilies and limes are. In other words, you're saying that the hot chili has taken the chip world by storm, and I agree. People are just, everyone's like, we have to have that in our catalog. But in this instance, perhaps it's a thing where we're not actually going to use chili, but because we're calling our chips chili lime to take advantage of that market, we're going to illustrate it with the chili and the lime, as one does, and then we'll write illustration purposes only, because what we're actually using is paprika and some generic spice.
I'm going to open it up. Ooh.
I feel like we detective right to the bottom of that, and it should be a bigger deal. I feel like we should be right now getting all sorts of mail about, you guys are amazing. You're so sleuth-like, but I don't see any incoming mail yet, but I'm sure it'll happen.
It doesn't quite qualify as an expose, but yeah, if the Pulitzer people are listening, hey, we're not going to say no.
If Barbara Walters gets a hold of it, that's going to be a whole thing.
That would be very surprising if Barbara Walters got a hold of it.
Why? Why, you say?
I just would be a surprise.
Okay.
Long dead.
Well, she ran the thing. She hurtled toward it.
Yes, she did.
In a good way. Hats off to BW. B-Dub.
All right. The first thing I'm noticing when I take out a Quest protein chip, is first of all, you open the bag and there is an aroma, and it's fine, totally fine aroma, no problems with that. But then I take out the chip itself, and I'm noticing it's light. It doesn't have
thinner,
the same,
right?
Yeah, it doesn't have the same girth as a corn
typical tortilla chip. Yeah,
yeah. This is its own thing. It feels a little airy, and even just my fingers are detecting, I don't know what it is. Like it feels like an assemblage. This feels like a Frankenstein chip. That is not necessarily a detraction from the chip. Tom and I, we love food science, and if you can make poison delicious, you're getting a 10 out of 10 from us.
Yeah, thank you. It's delicious. Thank you. End of game. Story. End of story. Thank you.
So this might be poison. I don't know, but I'm going to take a bite of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Really not bad at all. I mean, first impressions are, it definitely feels like you're eating something new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
new.
Sure.
And the newness
I'm going
of
back
it,
in. I'm going back in to see.
the newness of it, as a snackologist, can throw you off because the brain automatically compares it to other chips you've had in the past, and it's saying, well, this isn't like that, so therefore I don't like it. But because I'm trained, Johnny, because I spent
Come on,
years
Johnny.
in the dojo, Johnny,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I understand the neurology of snacking, and my brain wants to reject it because it's new, but I'm not going to fall for that trap.
No,
I'm gonna taste it and enjoy it on its own merits.
That's an early days trip up when you've already gone in with an opinion. You got to play it straight, and you learn to play it straight.
You learn, and by the way, these are painful lessons.
Oh, yeah, those are lashes. Yeah.
My initial question about the chip, Tommy, and here's a question for you. Is the flavoring as well integrated into the chip as it might be? Because my sense is it's not. I feel like I got a chip and then I have flavoring, and the two aren't necessarily married. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I think the compromise you're trying to make here is that your number one ingredient is protein. That's your
whey isolate, right? It's like the same thing that you would get
protein
in
blend.
a protein
milk
shake.
protein isolate, whey protein isolate, right?
Yep.
That's your number one ingredient. So hats off. Like, they aren't saying we're having protein chips, then going like, but not really, just like a little bit of protein, not really. So they understand that the person that's like, I like chips, but I watch my diet. I want to have an infusion of protein. I'm getting 20 grams of protein in this like relatively small bag. They're gonna be like, okay, I'll meet you halfway, and I'll just do that. I'll feel like I won't feel as bad about knocking back a bag of chips, but don't cheat me on the protein. And when you have protein as your number one ingredient, you're not cheating on the protein. And then I think that leads to your observation that it's a little bit different than what you normally get. That it's working a little harder with the thin chip and then the flavoring, but also not bad.
I definitely don't dislike it, and in fact, let me just talk briefly about the chili lime flavoring.
Yeah,
I
please.
feel like they could have gone harder. on the flavoring.
Yeah, but I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it's there. Like, I respectfully, well, I agree to a certain point, but I also would never say it's not chili lime. Like,
no, it's definitely
they definitely did it, and it does pack a punch for those viewers. We're gonna have to table the viewer discussion for the moment, who are sitting at home, who don't have it in front of them, who are driving in the car, who don't have it in front of them, who are springboarding off the high board and don't have it in front of them, but are going to get it. We're here to tell you that you're not cheated. Michael is talking about a level of intensity, and some of those crazy Taki ones will like knock your hair off, but this isn't that. But also, it is a chili lime bag of chips.
Absolutely. It's about priorities here. If the priority is protein and then you get some chili lime, you're good. If the protein is chili lime and you're hoping to get some protein, all right, yeah, you're there, but you could probably find a more intense chili lime flavor. Takis, for example. So I'm a guy who likes an intense flavor on a chip. This doesn't quite match that for me. That's okay. Different strokes, different folks. It's not really a knock test. It's a personal
And also,
preference.
the person who's looking for protein might not be the person who's looking to get their doors blown off by the heat.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. It's our podcast, right?
Here's the other thing I want to say about these guys. I was expecting some sort of unpleasant aftertaste. I don't know why, because it's new, because it's made out of protein powder, because they basically took a jar of muscle milk and they rolled it out and threw some chili lime on it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, there's going to be an unpleasant aftertaste, because if you drink a protein drink, sometimes you get an unpleasant aftertaste. I'm not finding an aftertaste on this, which is terrific. I'm liking that.
I agree. Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. You put it perfectly. My question to you is, this is our podcast, right?
Yeah.
So we can do what we want.
We have. The reason I hesitated, and I think this is important for people to know, because I want to be fully transparent. We do have a sizable investment from the Saudi kingdom. Now, a lot of people are going to say, why would you do that? And there's no perfect answer, but there's a combination of things.
The main thing is we want to be on that golf tour.
Yeah.
And so they're like, do you guys want to be on the golf tour and make these $1 million? And we're like, we want to make billions. And and so it's going to be you, me, and Phil Mickelson. That was the deal. And they're going to give us billions of dollars. And then it was so funny when they were like, because they don't care. They just don't want people going like, what are you doing with women? Right. And so, wait, what's your human rights record? They just don't want any, they're like, nosy Parkers. They don't want the nosy Parkers, right? So it was so funny when they're like, and where are you ranked? And we're like, well, #1 snack podcast, thank you. And they're like, no, in golf. And we looked at each other. We're like, I mean, look, folks, I know you know this. Michael and I are not golfers.
No.
All right.
Well, you're selling yourself a little short. You're a scratch golfer. You are a scratch golfer.
You're talking Phil. Look, you're talking Rory. Those guys, look, let's be honest. Those guys are better than I am. Okay? They're better than I am.
I mean, over the long term, maybe on any given Sunday, I'm not so sure.
Look,
you're having a good week. You're having a good week. Rory's a little off. He's slicing a little bit. I think you take him.
Did those guys play Jack, the golf pro, on a full season of Royal Pains on USA Network, or did I? I think that's what you're saying. I think you're saying they didn't get that role.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're saying. I think what you're saying is they didn't play Jack, the golf pro, on Royal Pains.
That's what I'm saying.
And I did. And I think that's what you're saying.
It's exactly what I'm saying. And so anyway, we took a bunch of money from the Saudis. We feel terrible about it.
Oh, man.
Had we known,
we just didn't really know.
Had we known that their thing with women, like, because I said it, we're all about respect for women. We didn't know.
Respect for women is our thing.
How are we supposed to know that the Saudis
and they were
don't
like, us too, and golf, and we were like, great.
So anyway, you were saying it's our podcast.
I was saying about our podcast. Yes. I'm going to throw a crazy thing out there, because I don't know that we're coming back to Quest Chips after today. But I happen to know from experience, and I think you don't, what this other bag is like. And I challenge you to open your other bag of Quest Chips, so you get an influence about Quest, and I will do the same with mine. Now, look.
We're not rating these. This is not an official rating.
We will not rate them, because we have to both eat.
Have the same flavor.
That's the E part. And you can't get to the R unless you do the E. And once again, these are the machinations of complex technology that Michael and I have gotten through. You're seeing the elite level of a division of duty in full force and in real actual time right now. But we are not going to R. We will E, but not R, because we both have to participate.
Right.
So I'm opening.
Chili lime will get an R. My ranch and Tommy's nacho cheese will not get R. So I'm going to take a bite of my ranch.
But we are doing this to get a fuller picture of Quest and the Quest chip foray itself. So I'm going to take out the nacho cheese. Michael's going to take out the ranch. We're going to have a go. Now, instantly, because I've had these before, magic, I knew what I was going to get. And that is in the nacho, and I urge you the viewers, and I don't even know if they are, to try the nacho themselves. It is a even more air-light and puffier chip. It's nacho cheese dusting, of which you and I have participated in many variations of a nacho cheese dusting on chips. I'm here to say is first rate. So
wow.
Do with that information as you will. I want Michael, I like it so much. I want Michael to go out and get a bag in the next 24 hours and then text me on up.
Right.
The chili will get a ranking on its own, uninfluenced by this, but the Quest nacho style, what is it? The Quest nacho cheese chip, they nailed it.
All right, so I'm eating the ranch.
You nailed it.
And the ranch is a good little comparison to the chili lime, because you do get a better sense of what the actual chip tastes like, because now you got two different flavors on the chip. The ranch flavoring, I think, is too subtle, but it is, it's pretty good ranch flavoring, and you taste, like, it says it's got buttermilk powder in it. And by gosh,
buttermilk powder,
you taste it. So I think these people take their flavoring seriously, which I appreciate. Yep. I think they take the chip seriously, which I appreciate. Yep. And if it's me, I'm dialing up the flavor. It's fair that they keep it at a lower level. I have a refined palate. Like, I can handle the flavor. Johnny out there is going to taste the chili lime, and he's going to go, I was blown away by the chili lime. Johnny, no, you weren't.
Johnny, you weren't, Johnny.
No, you weren't. It's chili lime, sure, but you weren't blown away by it.
Yeah, look around, Johnny.
I was blown away by the ranch. Johnny, cool your jets. No, you weren't.
Johnny,
it's a
pump your brakes.
Flavor.
Here's what I'll add to that. You're kind of blown away by the nacho cheese flavor in the nacho cheese Quest chip. So, Johnny, get yourself over to the shop and try the nacho cheese if you want to really see what blown away is like.
And I can't speak to it. I can't speak to it.
No, you can't. And we're not going to get an R, but
you're not getting an R viewers today, Quest. Not on the nacho cheese, not on the ranch, but on the chili lime. I say it's time for rating.
It is time to ratings on the chili lime chips. What? Right.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Yeah. So, Quest, I want to say this to you. Welcome. I'm actually I'm so very pleased that you're out there. I think that it's sometimes really difficult to grab a foothold in the great snack aisle of life. There's a lot of competition out there, and when it comes to chips, that aisle goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And you're like, we don't care. We think we have something. And I feel that you people over there at Quest are coming at this with intent and integrity. And I feel like your packaging alone and your product reveals that you're serious about making inroads in the market. And hats off to you for that. Now, of the three flavors we've sampled, we can only rate one of them. And I've made it clear to the viewers, and I don't even know. Some of them may be viewers, I'm starting to think, and I don't really know. But I've made it clear. I've made it clear, and Michael can back me up by my urging Michael to go purchase a snack. When that happens, we know each other very well. That's my stamp that you are going to like this. I'm not going to send Michael off and he'll be like, what a va? I don't want to get a voice memo. I don't like that voice memo. He doesn't do it well. It's kind of stupid. It never worked in the first time 20 years ago when he would go, what a and it doesn't work now. So I don't want that. So if I send him out on a quest,
he's going to need a minute, I think. He's going to need a second.
Michael, we're going to hold here because everybody, they're running away from their computers going, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
On the Quest episode, he made a Quest dig. They're running around. Like, we got to come back. Hey, everybody, we're done. That was great. I know it was great. I know it was great. Come on back. So they're going to come back. I'm not going to send Michael on a quest for Quest unless I think he's going to be fulfilled. So that should tell you everything you need to know about how I feel about the Quest nacho cheese flavor. Love it. It's not getting an R. What is going to get an R is the tortilla protein chips. Now, the protein chips, in comparison to me,
you mean the chili lime? Chili lime.
So sorry. The protein chip chili lime flavor. Yes. Thanks for that save. It is for some reason a thinner chip. And as I think Michael pointed out, which I thought was an astute observation, the Quest seems to be still working on the balance between protein, chip, and flavor, and those combinations. And while I do not, while I do enjoy it, it is not. If I were going to go to the Quest chip, it would not be my first go-to. I love what you're doing. I wish you nothing but the best in your quest. So tortilla style protein chips, chili lime flavor, 6.
Interesting. Yeah. I thought you were going to go higher.
Well, I tell you, it would have been significantly higher for the.
I understand if it was the nacho cheese. We get it,
but I can't do it. I
understand. I can't get it.
And I want to give them. You're over the 500 bar. You're at 600 in the Great Snack Aisle of Life. You're off to a hell of a start. If you extrapolate and go that your other guys might get an 8 or something, then you're doing great by mates, right? But I can't give you the R on those ones. Only the ones that I've consumed together with Michael, because that's our system.
All right. Tommy gives the chili lime Quest protein chip a 6. I'm telling you right now, I'm going higher. I do have a knock on this, which is very minor, but it bugs me. I don't like the lettering, the font choice they used for Quest, because it calls to mind to me a 1980s workout machine.
Yeah, well put.
That's what it looks like to me. And so,
but maybe purposefully, right?
Oh, absolutely. But absolutely is purposeful. They're like, yeah, this is helpful. We're going to make a helpful looking thing, but make it look a little more contemporary. That's all I'm saying. A little more contemporary than 80s like Nordic track design. It rubs me the wrong way. That's a minor thing. It's a quibble. I think what you're saying is exactly right. That they're still fine tuning this product.
Yeah.
But it came out of the gate strong, and I have to believe, just like with AI, this today is the worst version of this product we're going to see. I think it's going to get better and better over time. That being said, you're absolutely right. They started out in a great place. I'm gonna second your welcome. Welcome to the Great Snack Aisle of Life, Quest.
Welcome, Quest.
Quest, you found something. And a lot of other people have tried to do this. Like, we've had, I don't know how many healthy snacks on this program. And a lot of times what happens is they sacrifice the taste for the health. And I feel like you've come closer than anybody so far at marrying those two things, marrying the idea of a chip that is somewhat healthful with good flavor. Chili lime, I liked it better than the ranch, certainly, which isn't going to get an R from me today. But what I liked eating the ranch one was that because the flavor was subtle, I felt like I got a better sense of the chip itself and what the chip would taste like unvarnished with flavor. And it's honestly not bad. Like, it's kind of flavorless, I feel like, which isn't bad if you're trying to, cram protein into a chip. I'm just going to take one more of these ranch just to get a sense of the chip.
Do it. Anytime you keep going back in and keep going back in and keep going back in, that's a good sign, folks.
Well, that's a great sign. Which is why I was surprised you only gave it the 6. Because to me, if I'm going back and I saw you going back in, if you're going back in.
Well, in fairness, I just want to say
you're going back in on the nacho.
I was tempered by the fact that I know how good the nacho is, and so
absolutely,
if I give a 7 to the Quest, that means the nacho is a 9, and 9 is crazy. 9's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Hey, right. Relax. I mean, I think Snickers got 8, or maybe Snickers got 10, but like in the great snack out of life, you pull an 8, which is what a nacho cheese Quest chip is then you're fine. And so there's a gradient there.
Reverse engineer your rating.
Exactly right. I had to reverse engineer it. Again, super crazy technical terms. And this is why leave it
Johnny,
to the professionals.
You're not going to understand. You should just turn it off right now, Johnny.
Sit down, Jay.
Quest tortilla style protein chips, chili lime flavor.
7.5.
See you next week.
See you next week.